Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Danny, and I got some exciting news I want to share. And if you watch some of my videos, well, you've figured out that the Jesus that I talk about is a little bit outside the doctrinal box of Orthodox Christianity, and that I see Christ and Christianity as two different things. And let me explain real quick. I see being a follower of Christ as taking this little 10% of the Bible, the Gospels, and trying to live our lives by the teachings of Jesus and things like forgive and treat others as we want to be treated. And you can distill it all down to simply love one another. But there's nothing in here about believing doctrine. It's all about doing. Like the Sermon on the Mount doesn't say anything that we have to believe, but it's about doing. And Jesus even rebukes people for saying, don't you dare call me Lord, Lord, unless you're going to do the things I tell you to do. So there's no belief required to be a follower of Jesus. But Christianity is all about believing doctrines, and most of the doctrines of Christianity come from the other 90% of the Bible, from things that Jesus not only didn't teach, but he never even hinted at. And if we want to join a religion, we want to be a Catholic or Mormon or Jehovah's Witness or Baptist or Lutheran or Methodist or whatever, before we are allowed to become a member, we have to agree to accept the beliefs of the religion, which may mean praying a prayer or baptism or whatever, and then we're welcomed into the family. And it's good to have a family of like-minded believers, but the downside of joining any religion is now we have divided ourselves from humanity into us versus them, and we judge the others looking through the lenses of our doctrine. So now they have become the unbelievers, the unsaved, the heretics, and just because they happen to be born into or adopted a different belief system than the one that we have adopted. And history shows clearly what happens when zealots defend God and dogma. And that's one of the reasons that I don't do doctrine anymore. To me, believing doctrine is totally irrelevant. And I understand completely that doctrine is the most essential ingredient for a religious system to exist. Because everything from the sacraments and rituals and traditions and holy days and priestly garb and songs, everything is built around us believing the doctrines. But I came to realize that I can be a follower of Christ, a disciple, and not have to believe and defend all the doctrines of the faith. And I'm not saying that we should throw out 90% of the Bible, because we shouldn't, although I think we should spend 90% of our time on the 10% of the Bible that is the Gospels and 10% on the 90%. And I'm not saying that there aren't good-hearted Christians and churches that don't live by the Sermon on the Mount and the Golden Rule, because there are. And I'm not saying that I'm right and that you should believe like I do, but this works for me. So I want to let you know that I'm going to be doing live streaming. I'm going to start that just in a couple days, and here's the information on it. And that way we can talk face to face about Jesus and Christianity. And it's not to debate who owns the rights to Jesus or who has the ultimate truth, but it's seeing if we can find common ground around the person of Jesus, because I think there's common ground to be found. So join me and let's have a conversation about Christ and Christianity, okay?